Hi everyone, Lisa here from Forest City Stitching. Hope everyone had a great week. I'm just finishing up a week of vacation, so I got lots of stitching done that you'll see. I do want to get some, an area of my stitchy supplies cleaned up to include that toolbox that I showed a couple videos ago. I know Carmen went out and purchased one, so that was great. I'm glad I was able to enable her. So I still need to find a home for that. I'm not going to lie, it's just been living on my table, my kitchen table. But that's okay. Lots of things are being piled on it. Yeah, so this week we had a family trip to Bracebridge to Santa's Village, which it was chilly. We had to wear our sweaters all day, which was fine. But it also ended up being the busiest day of the year for them, likely because of the nicer weather. And then, so that was fine. Yeah, I think my son enjoyed it. He got a little bored, waiting in line and things like that for rides. So we left there probably around 3:30. So we were there from 10 till 3:30. Approximately, and it started to rain too, so it was a good time to leave. And then we spent the night in Barrie, and we then drove Wednesday to the Toronto Zoo to meet up with my husband's brother and his family and his mom. So yeah, so my son and his cousin had a great time at the zoo. We were there from open till close, from like 10 till 9:30 until 5:30. They close at 6. Yeah, we did 22,000 steps. We were pretty tired when we got home, and then we just drove from Toronto back here to home. Yeah, so Thursday my legs were pretty sore from all that, so we didn't do too much. I did end up getting up early, getting the dog from the kennel, and then I decided to braid the line at the passport office. So I got that renewed because they were only open 8:30 to 4 during the week, so that doesn't work for anyone that is gainfully employed. So I got that all fixed up because my passport was expired, so it's good just to have that in case we need it. And yeah, my passport photo that I got done beforehand was too blurry. So, but the lady at the passport office was super nice. There's a Shoppers Drug Mart right beside it. So she's like, we'll finish up here, pay, and then go get your picture redone, bring it back here, and then just come right back and see me. Problem was, because I was running late and I just put my hat on and went and got the dog and then went to the passport office. My hair was a disaster, but I was able to make it look not so bad and got my passport photo redone. So that is taken care of and should have that in a couple weeks' time. What else? My son had a play date on Friday afternoon, so that was nice. I was able to get a run in unexpectedly and get caught up on some longer floss tubes. Yesterday was more of a kind of veg out day. I was really tired and got up around. No one in this house lets me sleep, and by no one I mean mainly the animals. So Sully, our dog, woke me up at about 20 after 6. My husband ended up having to go into work early yesterday morning, so he woke me up after he left, of course. So then I went downstairs and just laid on the couch with him till my son got up. And then my son wanted breakfast, so I gave him breakfast. And then I said, I'm just going to go back upstairs and lay down. So then I ended up falling back asleep until like 10. So obviously I needed that little nap first thing, but it was a little bit later start in the day than we are used to, but I think well needed rest for sure. Yeah, and then today I got up, went for a run. It's pretty chilly here compared to what we're used to this summer, but that's fine. The fall is in the air. Now I just need to convince my husband to turn the heat on. He's sitting upstairs with a blanket, and he's like, "Oh no, we don't need it." Okay, so it's supposed to warm up though a little bit more the rest of this week. Okay, well that's 5 minutes of my week of holidays, which I'm sure were not super thrilling to anyone, but it was, busy enough for sure. And yeah, I've got today, and then tomorrow is Labor Day. I think my son and I are going to go swimming, and then I go back to work, and he doesn't go back to school until Wednesday. Okay, so stitching. I don't think I was done putting the stitches I wanted to in here. Put a bird on it. Maybe I was, so this might be a repeat, but show you where I am here. So I finished up putting stitches into that motif. Obviously the middle of it still needs to be done, and then I added in some more letters. So I think that's the main thing from last video. So I'm doing pretty good. I think I'm in pretty good track to get that done before the end of the year. Oh, one other thing I did on Thursday afternoon was Karen, the Stitching Owl, invited me to a Zoom that she hosts like every couple weeks with some other Flosstubers. So it was Stitching on the Shore, Kim the Contented Needleworker, the Twitchy Stitcher, Stick Strings and Other Things, and Uplift Stitches. I think were all the Flosstubers that were on that call. So it was great to see everyone and to meet some new people that I hadn't met before. So yeah, thank you again, Karen, for including me. She knows that typically I'm not available during those times, so I'm glad we were able to take advantage. Extraordinary Birds came out for a little bit. So we just received the final pattern, or the final chunk of the pattern, which is a very large bird in this area here. But yeah, I'm nowhere near that. But that is okay. Sorry. So that is how that is looking. Just want to show you that little bird down here is called a Wonder Chicken. I think he's pretty cute. And apparently he is now extinct. I think he was around the dinosaur times. So that's how that's looking. I'm going a little bit out of order, but not too bad here. So remember how I was worried that I was going to run out of things to stitch on my trip? Well, I did not. I didn't even finish anything, so that was kind of disappointing, but I made some good progress. So I don't have a cover photo, but it's the Christmas Hippo by the Blue Flower. You've all seen her. So this is how This one is looking, it's about 400 or so stitches. Yeah, so it's on 28 count linen, which proved a little difficult at times, especially when the sun was not my friend on our way heading east. That was a little bit difficult. Even my husband looked over and was like, how do you see the holes on that? I don't even know what you're doing. I did work on tall treats on the trip, and then I got it finished yesterday. So that's how tall treats look. This is also on a 28 count linen. This one is Billie Jean, I believe, by Roxy. And I do have a miscount on the Candy Cane by half a stitch. But I don't think anyone would be able to tell that from afar. I think that looks pretty good, actually. I do also have the pattern Quilbert printed in this bag as well, along with the floss. So all those little animals can stay together, except the giraffe. So now that he's done, he can come out. All right. Santa's Trips by Barbara Anna. I finished my whip go. Yeah, I finished my whip go, which for Santa's Trips, which was finish a section, which I'm counting one of these as a section. Really, I should add in the little green things on the corners as well, and maybe move that border over. But I'm considering that is a whip go square completion. I think this will likely come out again this year. So no worries on that. I do need to get some more of the red and green floss for that because it is eating that up very quickly. Okay, this is Olympic Gnomes by Jardin Privé. So that's looking, and I added in this little boxer dude. That's how he is, or how they are, I should say, because there's a lot of them. And then last but not least, I pulled out the Santa's Ride balloon. So that one there. And added in this section of the balloon here. It is very heavy on 844 is what that gray is. And that is everything I worked on. So plans for September. It's sampler September, but I am not planning on starting a sampler. Not that I know of. Not that I have planned for anyway. But I am going to participate in a Bisingo with Carolyn Zook and the magazine monthly challenge group. So I am planning on doing that. The Great British Bake Off is starting, I believe, on September 2nd. Jessie Marie said that she was going to make up some like templates for that. So hopefully that will get started this week. I already took a look at who the contestants are going to be and assigned projects to them, because last year I also created myself a little spreadsheet because I got behind on my stitches for that. So I'm looking forward to that. How my husband downloads shows for us. I think I should be able to see that as of the 2nd. We'll see. We'll see when it pops into our, I don't know what you call it, to the app, I guess. But yeah, looking forward to that. There is also potentially Amazing Race Australia challenge that the Whip Warriors are going to do. I'm waiting on some more information on that, but I did tentatively assign some whips to that as well. So a lot of different things going on to help me determine what I'm going to be working on, which is good because these last few days I have felt really lost on what I should be stitching on. Today I have no idea what I'm going to be stitching on. I have no sense of direction at all. So we will see. All right. Well, that's enough of me blabbering on today. I hope everyone has a great Labor Day long weekend, and we'll talk to you next week.